Would you like to learn how to make fun and easy nitro cocktails?
Well, today on WTF, we're going to use whipping siphons to make amazing sangria. Hello and welcome to WTF, where we transform food here in the Modernist Pantry Test Kitchen. I'm Chef Scott Guerin.
And I'm Janie Wang, one of the owners of Modernist Pantry. Now here on WTF, every week we cover unique ingredients and techniques, so remember, ring the bell, subscribe, and you'll get notified of our content. It comes out every single Tuesday, and we always do some fun recipes, so you definitely want to stay tuned. Alright, this week we are going to be talking about how do you make nitro cocktails, which is fun. We love cocktails here, and we love playing around with different recipes. So Scott is going to talk to you about what exactly is the process of going through a nitro cocktail, what's happening in that process, and of course we have a really delicious recipe that we can't wait to share with you. And remember, stick around because at some point we will be sharing what our weekly giveaway is. So, okay, I don't know why I did that. But anyways, random segue, let's talk about nitro cocktails.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, what exactly is happening from a, I guess, chemically scientific perspective when you make a nitro cocktail versus a usual shake and strain?
Sure. So there's a few different things that are going to happen here. The reason why we wanted to do this particular recipe is that you get two different benefits out of it. One is that you're doing a nitro infusion, so you're opening up all the pores and crevices within the fruit, and then you're extracting all the juices that way into what we're making, which is sangria. Mm-hmm. And the second thing you want to do, or that you get from a nitro cocktail, is the texture that is created by the bubbles. So nitrous oxide creates a very fine bubble structure, and that very fine bubble structure is similar to if you've ever had a Guinness draft beer, which is a nitro draft. Mm-hmm. There's also different types of nitro cocktails and things like that. Whipped cream we're very familiar with. Mm-hmm. So those use nitrous oxide, and that lends to the creaminess. It lends to the texture of the cocktail, the beer, the whipped cream in that case, right? So we wanted to add a few different benefits to it and just show you a few different things that you can get out of it when you're making a nitro cocktail.
Okay. And are there different categories of cocktail that lend itself to really benefiting from this technique that when people are thinking about what they might experiment with?
I think any cocktail could be a nitro cocktail. Okay. If you wanted to do an infusion, the sky's the limit. Whatever you want to infuse into your liquor or straight into a pre-mixed cocktail, you can absolutely do. Okay. Some cocktails are not going to work. You're not going to notice the nitro, but we kind of geared this directly towards being really good for a nitro cocktail.
All right, and what did you come up with this week?
So we did two different types of sangria. We did a red sangria and we have a white sangria. Yay. The red sangria is pretty straightforward. It's a very classic sangria, but we add a little bit of egg white powder to the sugar in it. So we don't have to make a simple syrup. We can add the egg white powder directly to some sugar, which I have here just because I have to mix it up. Mm-hmm. And we can mix it in and it'll just dissolve while it's in there rather than having to make a simple syrup ahead of time. You can just add the water, add the sugar, and a little bit of egg white powder. Now, why are we adding egg white powder? Mm-hmm. We want to maintain that heady foam on top of it, and you can see right here. So we were able to put it in to the cocktail, infuse it as normal, obviously keep it in the refrigerator. Then when you pour it out, you can get that nice, beautiful head. Now, sometimes if you want to pour out and strain out the fruit, you might lose a little bit of that head. Mm-hmm. But it's great because you can just stir it up with a spoon. You can get a nice kind of frothy head on top to then pour it. And you can see these are pretty stable. And the egg white powder lends just to that. It's similar to adding an egg white to a cocktail, which you see a lot of in shaken cocktails. But this is a pasteurized egg white powder, so if you're making this for people and you're nervous about just cracking a raw egg white into something, you can use this. It's completely pasteurized and it's safe to use.
Yeah, and I think one of the questions people may have about this is we talk about foam magic a lot, which is our super stable, super awesome foaming ingredient. Why are we using egg white powder in this case instead of foam magic?
So foam magic worked a little too well. Rather than ending up with a cocktail with a little bit of foam on top, we had a lot of foam with a little bit of cocktail. Okay. So we wanted to stick with something in a very small amount, be able to still weigh it out and get the exact kind of light head on top of the cocktail itself.
Okay, great. Well, I can't wait to see how you do this.
Okay, great. So first I have mine. I'm just going to release a little bit of pressure just to make sure. Okay, good. I wanted to do that before anything. So getting into the cocktail itself, we have our fruit. So we have some green apple, we have some nectarine. You can use plum, whatever you want. I like to use nectarine because it doesn't make it as red as sometimes plums make it. So I just have some fruit, and I'm just going to stick them into my my whipping siphon. All right, so I have oranges, green apple, nectarine, and I place them in there. Now with those, after they're infused, you don't only get the juice out of there into the cocktail, you get the cocktail into the fruit. So over there you can see we have a lot of these nitro fruits, which if you get them right out of the whipping siphon, like once they're all completely infused, you can get a little bit of a texture, like a tingly texture from them, from the nitro actually inside the fruit. So that's a really cool little benefit.
Oh, the fruit tastes really good.
So I'm going to put in just a little bit of water down on the bottom. I'm going to add in my white wine. Now you can use whatever white wine you want, but we chose Chardonnay. The reason why we chose Chardonnay is that Chardonnay is a buttery wine, right? And we are adding a creaminess to this with some nitrous oxide. So by adding in that creaminess, we want to kind of accentuate the flavors of the wine, and Chardonnay has a buttery texture to it. Then we have a little bit of brandy, because why not? And then we have our sugar and our egg white powder. I'm just going to dry mix this in. Now generally, if you've ever watched our other episodes where we did egg white powder, you're going to have to mix in that egg white powder into a little bit of warm water just to make sure that it's completely hydrated. But if you dry mix it with this sugar here, once it's in there, it won't clump up and you're going to get all the full effects of it.
Cool.
But generally, if you're going to be making just egg whites, you wouldn't mix it with this amount of sugar because that doesn't work. But here we go. Very easy. Now I have one last thing that I'm going to add. We have Alice and the Magician. This is a really great product that we carry, and this adds a big, bright, floral, citrusy note to our cocktail. Now, I can't really get this flavor from any fruit, right? I'd have to go out, I'd have to source it, but this does all the work for me. I can use this in my cocktail, and it can taste like no other cocktail around. So I only need for one cocktail is about 3 to 5 drops. I'm going to go on the light end because I did put some other fruit in there. But definitely check out the Alice and the Magician stuff. It's great.
Oh, so good.
So place this on top. Very simple. Now you can notice that there's 2 different tops on here, right? So those 2 different tops are very similar in what they do. They basically just allow you to pressurize the chamber here. So I'm going to do this once. But this is known as an infusion.
I believe it's called the rapid infusion.
Rapid infusion.
Yes.
Right. So that sounds just like. Let me clean up a little bit.
And the little thing that you were pouring into, that's part of the ISI funnel and sieve. It's really useful for getting things into the whipping siphon.
Yes. So everything that comes with the whipping siphon, or everything that you can purchase with it, really helps. Like that funnel, because this lid is not big, that funnel works out great. So how is this different than that? I just want to get into that just to make sure. So what this allows you to do is, if I was to release all the pressure out of here, generally it's going to spray off a lot of liquid, especially with, I have about, after everything that's in here, close to 16 ounces worth of contents. So if I was to just release all this pressure, it's not heavy enough to sit at the bottom, and all of that fruit is sitting at the top, and it's going to let the water or the cocktail spray right out of the top.
Okay.
Now, when I'm using the rapid infusion, I can then just put it down into a glass and make sure that it catches any of that cocktail that comes out of it. So I'm not going to waste it. Also, if you're infusing oil or if you're infusing anything, you don't want to be standing over a trash can letting it spray in there, because you want to catch everything that you possibly can out of it. The other part for this, which I don't necessarily use for this, but if you're doing any oils or anything that has small fragments, this will go right on top. This will sit pretty much right in here. And as you're getting out any of the pressure, nothing can come up through here and then out or into the little mechanism here and then clog it up, make a mess, right?
Neat.
So this is going to sit between 4 to 18 hours. At 18 hours, it's going to be obviously much more infused than at 4, but this is ready to go at 4. So I'm just going to give this a quick shake.
Okay. And is it possible to over infuse it? Can you just be like, I went too long, it's all ruined now?
So at a certain point, you're going to get the bitterness out of that orange peel, right? So a little bit is okay because that adds complexity, but when you're letting it sit in there for 48 hours, yeah, you're gonna get quite the bitter cocktail. So just be sure. I mean, if you're just doing apples and nectarines, maybe pear, you're gonna be totally fine.
Okay.
But understand what you're using. If it's bitter, it's probably gonna end up being bitter. So just make sure there's no gas in here. I did let it off before because it does let out quite a bit of contents. I did it nice and slowly. And we have our really beautiful foamy cocktail. Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it into here. This side. So I have all that fruit in here, right? I just don't want to lose all the fruit. And we got that beautiful foam. Right, and we have this also beautiful fruit. Just let that sit on top. Try not to lose it. And then if I give this a good little stir, a little bit of the foam on top, and I can pour it directly into my nice little.
Yeah, the foam on this one stayed for a long time.
Sometimes you can get it a little bit. I had a little foamer, but you can absolutely use that. Ooh. So I did release the pressure a little bit before shooting as well, so that could have.
I know, but you would get this. Yes,
you could get that right out of it. You could get that beautiful foam. But with this, you can also, if you give it a good shake too, if you put it in a shaker cup rather than the pouring glass, you can get the foam right back. No problem.
Cool.
If you wanted to try it, Janie, go right ahead.
Which one? Does it matter?
Well, whichever one.
I'm going to try this one first. Oh, that's so nice. It does have it is like sangria, but creamy.
Yeah, there's like a little creaminess to the texture. Right. Obviously, the egg yolk might add a little bit, or the egg white might add a little bit to that as well.
Ooh. Oh, now I'm going to try Are you going to try any of these? You already tried them.
I'll try them. I don't mind.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. I like the white.
I like both of these. So you can definitely get all today's recipes in the links in the description below to make it. But of course, kind of like what Scott said, you can basically run almost any cocktail that you want through it. And if you do decide to do that, you're going to need a lot of chargers because they are consumables. So for this week's giveaway, we are giving away 150 count of the ISI nitrous oxide chargers. And if you ever worked with whippers before, you know you want a lot of chargers in stock. So the 50 pack is going to last you a long time. And in order to enter to win, just leave in the comments below for the next 2 weeks your favorite cocktail, because we want to know what you like to drink. Yep. We are crowdsourcing ideas for future episodes of WTF. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Okay, so it's going to be really fun. Watch Scott make. Are you making the white or the red?
I'm making both of them.
Okay, making both of the sangrias on our Instagram, available later today at Modernist Pantry or on this particular channel in a couple of days. So from here in the Modernist Pantry Test Kitchen, I'm Janie Wang.
And I'm Scott Darren. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that bell so you get notified when we drop a new video.
To get today's recipes and all of our recipes, remember to go to blog.modernistpantry.com where you get recipes, ask a chefs, tips and tricks, and more.
And if you haven't already, tell a friend so they know what's going on here at WTF.
And as always, to get any of the ingredients you saw today, you can go to modernistpantry.com to shop.
And until next time, we'll be here in the test kitchen helping you create memorable and magical experiences.